Bob is the Senior Vice President of SunTrust Bank here in Volusia County. He knows everything about SBA loans and commercial loans, name it. He works pretty close with the business community. He's a long-term friend of the incubator SBDC. Work pretty close with our business owners. And now, Tom, I'm gonna just move your slides to let me know when you want me to move to the next one, okay? So let me see.
I look way younger in that picture.
You were younger.
I know. Okay. That's what I was wondering. You know, I don't have my makeup on this morning. So, you know.
This is what happened to us when we work from home, you know.
I know. My eyeliner, all the stuff I need for work, I just didn't put on. I do have my Camp Winona mug, though. See that, Kimberly? Camp Winona, the YMCA there. So, hey, folks, I am really here just to give you a little calm and a little guidance. Been working overnight. The SBA issued to all the federal banks the final guidance on this program at 6:30 last evening. So as Tom said, and as Connie alluded to, we are working in real time. I mean, this is a real time action. So if you imagine the SBA across the country with its 2,000 participating banks has only in the past year given $30 billion out through all of its lenders, and probably over the last 5 or 6 years, somewhere around 80 billion. We're expected now to give out $350 billion in the next 90 days through this conduit, as Tom said, this loan program. And the banks, all of us are together, are in the same place. We are putting together the back end of the program. The program didn't exist before until the president signed this 6 days ago. To create an entire new SBA loan program with all the rules and regulations that all of you and us have to go through, it's an amazing feat. We're 6 days in, and most of your largest banks, going from the top all the way down, are still working on the ability to upload these applications and information that's required through their portals. And some of the next smaller regional banks and even smaller banks are taking some paper applications. We are building the backside process, and through some amazing feats of work, you will be able to go online to your bank or talk to your banker and get the ability to start the process today, which is an amazing thing. So if you look on the screen, you can see what the SBA CARES, our Payment Protection Act, what it covers. And the reason why you would take this before something else is because this is a piece of the business that you need to do to keep your employees employed. And 100% of it can be forgivable. Mm-hmm. So that in turn would become a grant. Initially, it happens as a loan that you have to qualify for, very similar to what Tom said. You have to qualify. The qualification is very limited. It's a single-page application that can be found on the SBA website. And number two, as long as you don't have any major criminal issues or other fraudulent issues or other issues like that with the IRS or with the SBA, more than likely the bank will validate your information and move through in the process. So my suggestion to pretty much any client that's out there that is impacted, which is either closed or is starting to feel the drag of new business, or especially in the contracting business, and this may apply to Kimberly and some of the stuff she does, but in the contracting business, you have accounts receivable that are being collected over the next 60 or 90 days. The drag will happen in 30 or 60 more days. So we need to do this now. Understand there's $350 billion. The Treasury also has printing presses. This is backed by the federal government. We will not run out of money. Patience, calm, and time for us to get all this process put together. The best source of information is both the Treasury website and the SBA website. Connie, if you could move forward on the slide. What I think Connie, would you let me put my screen up?
Yeah.
Can you do that or no?
Let's see. Let's try. Let's see if you can do it.
Let's see if I can do it. Share my screen. If not, it's okay.
Let me stop my share here, and then we go to yours. Okay. So stop. Okay. I'm gonna stop my share.
Oh.
Okay. Now let's try, Bob.
Okay. And now we're looking for what screen I want to share. Okay, share. There we go. Okay. My suggestion for everyone is to go out to the SBA.gov. And right now, I'm telling you, this is an amazing feat. As Tom said, the whole website changed, but they've got it up and it's running. And as you can see, the Paycheck Protection Act is here first. Then you have the EIDL loan that Tom was talking about. These are some other loans right now and debt relief that we're going to talk about later, or you can talk about at some other point. The PPP, if you click Learn More, it will give you some details. And this is kind of what I want to make sure that we're doing. So everyone is going to use across the country the same exact application for all the banks. You have to go to your operating bank to get this type of loan. That would be your business, where your business operating deposits are, or your business loan is. So either one of those, where your business is, that banker or bank is the one that's going to handle this for you. As you read down what it's going to cover, it tells you details right through here. It's 8 weeks of money to pay for these items, which you can see right there: mortgage, interest, utilities, and payroll. It tells you who can apply. And this is really targeted at clients under 500 employees. So that's the majority of our businesses in Volusia and Flagler County and Seminole County. Loan details and forgiveness. This is why there shouldn't be a rush to get this done today. Understand there's more than enough money, but the key is doing it right so that the majority or all of this is forgiven on the back end. So the way this works is you submit this single application, some financial detail, and I'll go to the application, to your bank. Don't send it to them by email. Don't throw it out there now to them. Call, talk to them, find out what their process is. Each bank has a little different process. The SunTrust, now Truist Bank, will be taking applications online through our Truist website and a portal. Each bank will do it a little differently. Here is the application. I'm going to click on it. You can see how quickly it comes up. It says download PDF. You download it. It comes up on your screen, and it is a single page of details. Well, it's a single page of details and then some certifications. So if you look at this form and walk through it pretty quickly, I think everyone can do it. But the key component part is here. The goal of this plan is to look back over the rolling last 12 months of payroll and payroll associated benefits and things, and get an average number of what your payroll is and your employee costs and your benefits. You multiply it by 2.5 times, which will give you this number. You'll say the number of employees you have when this occurred. And the government's going to go back, as I talked about, after this loan is given. We'll give you the money here in the next couple of weeks. It may take a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, depending on the bank. It could take 3 weeks. This program goes on for the next 90 days. So you have time to apply to get the money, and it will, as we get the systems down, it will happen faster over the next 2 or 3 weeks. The goal is to give you the money to get your employees back, to do some of the things that Connie talked about early. Get your social media updated, get your databases cleaned up, start to think about innovative new products, think about the new market that you're going into when you come out of this, and really take this money to get your team in motion for the next 8 weeks. So once you get the money, you use it in your business to pay payroll and the associated costs around that, and to keep the business up and running and get it ready to come out of this on the back end. Now, in 12 months, they're going to look at the same information, and we will have to apply again to the government for this grant forgiveness program that will pay this loan off. So at the end of this period of time, and you can see in there what the dates are, at the end of this, you'll go back to your bank. There'll be a certification. I have X employees. I have X amount of payroll going on right now. The business is back up and running. I would like this loan to be forgiven. There won't be any payments for the first 12 months anyway. So we'll go in and we'll forgive that. So the data going in has to be as good as the data in when we go for the forgiveness. So we don't have to rush in tomorrow to do this. Let's get it right and get with your banker so that this all gets forgiven. That's the real benefit, is that the government's going to forgive these loans. In the chance that not all of it's forgiven by the government, whatever's left over, let's say there was 20,000 left over, it would be right here. This loan will have a maturity of 2 years with an interest rate of 1%. That's pretty darn cheap, because if you were to look at any of the other things out there, it's considerably higher. There's other assistance that's out there. Understand this document right here says interim final rule. We got that at 6:30. All the federal banks got it at 6:30 last night from the SBA. So that's what they're building their programs on as we speak. So I will move this document over. This is actually the document. So a lot of questions are, how do I calculate what that number is for the first box? It's under letter C. How do I calculate the maximum amount? It's all this information is out on the SBA site where I clicked before. This document's 31 pages. I'm not going to go through it. I just wanted you to understand that all the data you need is on that SBA website. And I'm going to click that out. So Connie, you can go back to, or you let me stop sharing.
Yeah.
So, okay, here, one of the other questions, which Tom alluded to, the EDIL loan advance. Okay, one of the key component parts, why would I take the Protection Act first? Number one, because it's going to be forgiven if you do it right. Now, if your business needs more than that because of the impact of this disaster, and it has a longer cycle, as long as the purpose of this is focused on payroll, employees, and benefits. That's what this covers, to get people back to work. If you need more, you can do the associated loan, which is this disaster relief. The difference is, as Tom said very clearly, this loan right here may take us a week to 10 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks after you do it to get done. This is a full SBA loan. You may get a quick $10,000 advance on it, but that loan takes a little longer to process through the Treasury, and it's fully documented and it has full financials, and that just takes a little longer. Not that they won't give it to you, because they will. They're really trying to get us to do that for the businesses that have these longer term needs. So you have both your payment protection, quick, fast, get your people back together. You can apply after you apply for the Payment Protection Act for one of these EDL loans. That may come in a month or two with the process of this disaster relief.
Yeah. And the Paycheck Protection Program, I know, is up to $10 million, right, Bob?
Yes, depending on the number of employees. So if you had a restaurant with 80 employees, you could bring them back into work. One of the things that I talk to my clients about is really understanding, once you get the money, what the people are going to do. So that's what Connie was talking about. How can I get to a point in my business where I come out of this faster, stronger, and more effective than I've ever been? And the way to do that is to take those employees' brains and use them along with your leadership staff to take your business to the next place. So I can't tell you anything else about the program. Truist, who I work for, and any one of the clients, any one of your banks, and I'll pull this over here just so that you can see. You have to go through your bank, your specific bank. So to start, Truist will take applications from our business clients, our deposit clients, but it won't take TD Bank, or it won't take Center State, or it won't take the New South State. We will only take applications from our clients initially. So understand, all the large banks will take them initially. As we move through the process, we may add other banks, because there are some community banks that aren't participating in the program, and there are some other banks that may not decide to participate in the program. So understand, I would go to my bank's website, I would call my banker, I would be patient, I would collect my data, I would get with Howard, and I would get with our accountants, and I would work through that, and I would help my employees then think about how they can help the business and themselves through unemployment insurance or whatever else that's out there. The government does want the business community to help those folks come back and be employed for the next 8 weeks and try to keep them out of being on unemployment insurance. That's one of the goals, and we'll see how it works. So you can go, if you're a Truist client, to the Truist website, and you can enroll in this process, and we will take everything through a portal, and you enroll right there, very simple. And we will take everything through a portal, and most larger banks will work this way. And I'm not sure how every other one will work. We're all doing this independently to help our clients first, and we'll roll over to other folks. So I'll turn it back over to you, Connie. Any other questions? And I'll be happy to take some questions.
Yep. Bob, it's Tom. Just one question there. From our clients, we have heard, as you alluded to, I think they're going to smaller banks that are saying we are not participating. For those clients, I guess they just need to get in line at another bank. Is that?
Well, and what we would say, and let's also understand this, there is a lot of fraud going on right now. You know, all those idle minds become these creative brains on how to figure out fraud. So don't respond to an email from some guy who knows some guy who sends you to this website to put data in to get one of these loans. Be a little bit patient. The process will move forward here quickly. If their bank isn't participating, there will be some additional ways. We should know that sometime next week or later after that. So a little bit of patience and a little bit of comfort right now. We're all working through the issue. Right now, most of your large major banks aren't accepting applications from anyone else. So as it stands right now, we don't have an answer for that. We may have it 7 days from now. This is very fluid situation, Tom.
Good. And then the other question I had, one of our larger clients said that their bank was going to help them, but they were going to charge a fee, which kind of seems like that would be logical to me. His question was, would the the PPP program reimburse him for those fees?
Banks, if you look at it as part of this program, are not allowed to charge fees to the SBA.
Yeah, and
so
they have to report that bank, and they're gonna be like reprimand because they're doing that.
So as it stands right now, we're not charging any fees to set up these PPP loans. Now, that bank may have a separate disaster relief loan that they may charge fees for. So let's think about it that way. Potentially, they're supporting them in a different way. This program itself, the SBA fees have all been waived as part of the president's $2 trillion act. So inside of it, there may be some fees after the fact. There's interest that would accrue 12 months from now, but currently there's no front end fees, and no one should pay any front end fees on the PPP.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so can you stop your share? Okay, good. So any questions for Bob?
Yes, I have a question. Hi, Bob. Good morning.
Hey,
Thank you
good
for
morning.
being there. Good morning. So I had been in contact with the Edgewater Truist branch, and they were telling me yesterday, as soon as they got the information, we'd be contacted and that we were to bring it through the drive-through.
So that's
You're saying,
so as of this morning, that's a little bit different. So if you will go right onto the Truist website where it says enroll now and enroll, you will be enrolled. Our branches currently are only taking things through the drive-through. So that was the initial issue. We were going to try to take it through the drive-through, but we've solved the issue somewhat, getting everyone enrolled in the site. And then you can, then you'll get an email at some point this weekend on how you can move your information into the portal early next week.
So all the banks doing that?
So this is also a technology issue,
Right.
Howard, and building the backside of a $350 billion program and taking care of all the accounting, IRS rules, and federal rules is quite an undertaking, to say the least. Never been done before. I sound like the president, but it's never been done before, and that's true. So every bank is doing it a little bit differently. Some banks may take a paper application through a tube. Some banks may take it through a portal or a website. Each individual bank is lending their own money in this program. So they're free to handle it the way they want. Same application, same data. How the process works will be a little different in each one of the institutions.
mm-hmm.
I would call my banker. I would get on their website, and I would look for any of the information, because there's a lot of data out there.
Yep. Okay, this is pretty cool stuff. You know, I just want to say something here. You know, when we do our workshops and seminars here in the UCF Business Incubator in Volusia County, I always tell the clients, you know, your 5 best friends when it comes to run your business is first your banker. Here we have Bob, SunTrust Bank, and then your accountant, we have Howard, and then the SBDC consultant or the UCF Business Incubator consultants. They're the 3 best friends, and of course your wife or your husband, and last thing, a police officer. But now I'm gonna add something: is your hand sanitizer. That's your all the time. Anyway, so let's continue with our program. So I'm gonna share my screen again.
Can I ask a quick question, if possible?
Yes, please.
Is contractors 1099s that work for you, are they also qualified for this?
That's a very good question, and the answer is yes. So as of April 15th, if you go out on the website, as of April 15th, on the SBA website, I would direct you to the SBA website. As of April 15th, the contractors, 1099 employees, will be able to apply individually to their bank who handles their accounts, and they'll be able to apply for similar relief. So I suggest to all our 1099 clients to do the same thing I would suggest to our business clients, is pull together what their income, expenses, and what they did in the last 12 months, and they'll work very similarly to that.
Is it 12 months to this date, or is it from last year?
12 months rolling. So the way they're looking at it is from the affected time, I think like February 15th to the prior February 15th. and they look at rolling averages. And if you look in that actual document on the SBA website, that is the one that says, it's on the Treasury website too. It says final guidance. It kind of breaks that down. The time to apply doesn't start until I think the 15th of April, but you can look at that on the site and you can do that.